every day. And if you can have that, some of the biggest things in this world, the opportunity and the power is around the world. So we intend to build the biggest seedling bank some of the biggest things and have food security for 100 years. So we intend agro build the biggest seedling bank. That's what we need. And we would nurture this. We would actually feed it. And we are going to have the biggest seedling bank. That's what we need. And 100 years nurture this reserve. The farmers will buy from us. And we are going to have run out of cocoa, they will buy from us. And 100 years. If India needs food, they will buy from us. The farmers will buy from us. This will make us like Joseph. Run out of cocoa, they will buy from us. Feeding for 7 years. India needs farmers, they will buy from us. Because this will make us like Joseph. Run out of cocoa, they will buy from us. Feeding for 7 years. Iron, there's bauxite. All we have to do is make us like Joseph. Creating the job for the people and letting them have their iron. Therefore, we have to bring these things out of the ground and keep it as reserves. Whenever you refine any of this, or you plant any of this, the value can be from times 5 to 10 or 15. Quadruples. Well, I've been talking about the ground. I've been talking about food reserves. I've been talking about food reserves. All these reserves. It's for the state. It's for the nation. This is what I grow. I've been talking about food reserves. Real is here. All these reserves an equity. What belongs to you? It's for the nation. One. This is what I have to have a share. I've been talking about whatever that is on our ground. We have to get jobs from it. An equity. We have to create wealth out of it. And we have to get the skill set out of what belongs to us. It's on our ground. We have to share. We are whatever belongs to Ghana. We have to create wealth out of it. We share among the nation. Skill set out of what belongs to us. But with all the reserves, that's one thing that I would like to add. Ghana. And I know we probably never thought of that. But why do we buy money? Belongs to us. But with all the reserves, why do we have to and I know the rule, we print our money, and after we fly, we buy the money to us. But before we have money, what happens to the industrial power that we're creating now? We are going to print money, our money, and after we don't need to go to England or America to print money. We don't need to go anywhere else to go and buy food or bring it here. We don't need to pay certain times the taxes or whatever that is already in our country. If someone has no tax to go and buy it, bring money price and bring it back again. That's not because whatever that we are going to bring in our country. Now that we have more reserves, and now cash reserves, fellow Ghanaians, whatever that we are going to bring in our country. Now that we have more reserves, we are fine. Cash reserves from the bottom of my heart. And this, even when we are not here, this will take us through the centuries. From the bottom of my heart. This is not to make you just remember me. Even when we are not here, to make you know that when I'm not here, my absence will really felt. Because I have found a way to take you back. Not to make you just remember me. Where you came from. To make you know that when I'm how your ancestors, your older gods, your fathers survived back in the 500 BC. We are going to create the national sovereign wealth fund. This is the new IMF. Well, at this very point, Ghana is going to help me launch the new IMF because verbally I am dead. But physically, mentally, Ghana is going to help me launch the new we are about to because verbally I am dead. This pillar is the new policy and it will disrupt and dissolve. But eventually, it will rebuild our heritage. In the past, our minerals have been destructed and exported. But we're ending it. The National Sovereign Wealth Fund is the new IMF, independent and controllable. It will collect every reserve, and it will keep it, and it will protect it. The National Sovereign Wealth Fund. Nobody has to pretend they're not accountable or responsible for our own anymore, because now it will secure within the National Fund. And if anybody needs anything within the ministries or the government, let them go to the fund, and they will know this fund has more wealth than IMF or the World Bank. And anybody needs anything, and they will know it all came from this ground. It's the reserves, your gold, your cocoa, your 100 years of seedling bank, your tax reserves. I mean, feed the fund. I mean, 100 million barrels of oil, 100 years of seedling reserves. All of this is going to be, I mean, the wealth fund. I mean, 100 million barrels of oil. Now, let me tell you the interesting thing about the tax reserves. All of to increase our reserves, we decided that we're going to minimize the corruption in the tax system. Because you can see in the box, maybe there is let me see if I have a tax reserve box here, something to explain it better. But you can see that we have almost 45% of royalties, taxes, of many things that we collect. And yet, we don't see that value. What we are saying now is that we are going to take 30% of all gold extracted, all minerals extracted, as income tax, no royalties, nothing. 30% of everything extracted from the multinationals, and it goes directly into our reserves. And that's where we quadruple the value. We multiply the value. So our taxes, one, is not going to go missing again. But two, it's going to be in the form of raw material. And three, our industrial platform, we multiply the value. We quadruple that. We need the reserves. That determines how rich we are, how wealthy we are. And three, our industrial platform, we multiply the value. For me, we have found something good for Ghana. I hope the African countries can take this approach as well and start making sure that they have their own reserve banks, just like all the first-class countries in the world. They have reserves. That being said, I would like to take you to Pillar 6. I think this is my favorite. They have reserves. But I know I have a lot of favorites in these 12 pillars. I would like to take you. And these pillars are supposed to be the pillars that hold the structure of this country. We look at this country, but I know I have a lot of structure in these 12 pillars. Before we can protect the roof of this country, before we can protect the floors of this country, the grounds of this country, the foundation of this country. And that's why I believe that the next revolution is going to revolutionize Ghana. Now let's go into this. The next revolution is solving three major needs, but I also call it major problems of Ghanaians. That's health, education, and accommodation. Currently, contributors of SNIT have to pay and wait up to 40 years for pension before they qualify for their claims. Some will die halfway, and they will not even be given to their children. Some will never even see this. But we have changed it. As from now, we will say that our policy will be turning the SNIT fund into turning SNIT into nation's insurance fund. We will say that our insurance fund is interesting. And I like to turn it into Ghanaians will now be eligible to claim for their health, education, and accommodation. How so? Because in the next 5 years, you can claim your SNIT back. You can claim it in cash, or you can invest it in insurance. And if you invest it in insurance, and then you have one of the major problems or the needs in Ghana, which is either I lost my job and I don't have somewhere to stay, that's your 5,000 or 10,000 savings in SNIT can become times 10 to get you home. An accommodation, somewhere to stay, you can put in the claim. You can put in the claim when you have a major health issue, like how you go to hospitals and the people die first because maybe don't have the cash first. This policy issue, kill me first, bill me later. You can go to the insurance fund. We're not going to let people in the country be homeless and fall out on the street because they have no job. Your SNP fund is supposed to be able to become the insurer that will get you the home. And this is what is going to happen. Once we do all of this, we're going to create a fund. This fund will guarantee payments for investment. So I'm a developer. I will be interested if I know that 100,000 Ghanaians will rent homes from me, as long as there is a claim and guarantee payment. So it makes sense for me to put a feasibility study together for whatever investment partner and do that development once it turns around. It's also going to attract. It's going to attract investors in the hospital area. It's going to attract even educational facilities. It will bring all of that together. I know that this revolution might be stepping on some conditions that already exist. But sometimes we need to change our clothes when it's cool. When it's dirty. It just needs to evolve. It's another day. So let's change it and let's move on. Now, Pillar 7. I know I've been saying all of this, but it says if you want to educate a nation, you educate a woman of that nation. Now, Pillar 7 concerned, it will go down further. We believe that education in this country needs to be a nation, you educate a woman of that nation. Make it acceptable. It will go down to our culture. And that's why Pillar 7 introduces to you industry education. It's industrialization with education coming together. We coined this word by merging industrialization and education. Why do we continue to use the curricula and the syllabus that are over a century old? And why is it talking about Europe and America? Why can't you study about your ground? Why don't you know about how to dig your gold? Why does it have to take somebody to come from outside to find where your gold is? Why do you have to give your cocoa to someone before he turns it to chocolate for you? What happened? What happened to you knowing about your seed, that you have oil in there and it can create petrol for you? We need to educate Ghanaian children about Ghanaian values. Minerals, the minerals and how it gets processed, and agriculture and the values that can come out of it, the power of supply and distribution. We need to westernize the curriculum and agriculture, and that's exactly what we're doing. We need to build an industrial mindset, very important. We need to industrialize the curriculum, tailor education to our industrial needs. We need to build an industrial mindset. And out of that, we're going to start building entrepreneurs. We're going to start building industrialists. We're going to start building business leaders. See, what I've realized about Ghana's education is you spend 21 years of educating yourself, and then after, you go look for a job, only to find out that there's no vacancy. What I've realized about Ghana's education is when you can be a businessman before you even get your degree. And then after, why do we keep going out there looking for jobs? Knowing the value of our nation, there is a need to protect it. And let us educate our children. So whatever we leave for them, they can guide it and they can build the future for the ones who are coming. I'd like to take you to Pillar 8 right now. And Pillar 8 is environmental and human rights protection. I'd like to take you to Pillar 8 right now. Environmental. And Pillar 8 sounds so serious. Human rights, environmental, and you don't really care about it, but it's very important. I'd like to take you to Pillar 8. Maybe we should start from the environmental protection. It sounds so serious. Human rights. You know that protecting this environment means you're protecting your reserves. Look at the reserves I've spoken about. Look at the trillions. Look at the amount of jobs that it can create. Look at the economy. Look at all of these things. So it's our reserves. And guess what? We are not protecting our reserves. That is our hidden treasure. The reserves is also in the hidden land, in the waters, the oil, the fishes, the gold. the bauxite, the lithium. It's all in the ground. It's in our water. It's in our farms. So why are we not protecting it? Why is maybe an institution like EPA busy chasing me for residual income or chasing the average Ghanaian for something that is given already, when the main aim is to protect these valuable assets? Okay, I mean, you're looking at something like the water poisoning of this country right now. It's hilarious. Okay, almost every water body is poisoned. And we are talking about a water connection, purification, and irrigation. Do you know what it's going to cost us to do that? This water purification, to get all our water back to the way it is. Do you know that this water poisons the land? And this is the land that we grow our crops on. Why do we poison our land? Where we grow the food on? Why do we poison the water? Why do we poison the water that we live on? Why do we continue to poison the water that we have our fish? Why are we poisoning everything? And if it's not us, why do we allow people to do it? Why are we destroying the forest that cleanses the air for us? For us, it's supposed to be highly valued. Our national assets, our forestry reserves have billions and trillions of dollars sitting in it. But no one is protecting it. And no one is counting it. And no one is got stock of it. But yet we're running around. We're sitting on gold but looking for money. Billions and trillions of dollars sitting in it. And when you look at all of these things that I've said, you see there is the forest commission, there is the land commission, all these commissions that can collect commissions. But first, what I think we should do is to build something that will keep the records of our land properly and all national assets on a blockchain platform. This is where the technology hub comes in. So we're going to have a Web3 blockchain development centers that takes all of the freedoms that we have in this country and control. And it goes in the national cloud. Industrial purification, clean our water bodies, overhaul the EPA, and ensure that it delivers the duty effectively. Let's enforce environmental protection laws with no fear or industrial purification, clean our water bodies, overhaul the EPA, and ensure that it delivers the duty effectively. Let's enforce environmental protection more than half of our future, or we have already outlived our future. Let's prepare the ground for the body and equally her. Let the youth participate appropriately. Educate young people about their voting rights. That's more than half of their voting rights, their human rights. Their voting rights must be open and accessible. But why have we disenfranchised millions of young people for so long? Why? Why have we stifled their voices? Let's allow the young people to vote. Let's allow them to have a voice. Let's remember that we've lived more than half of our future. Why have we, or we have already outlived our future? And let's prepare the ground for the protection of all men and citizens to be valued, treated with dignity and respect. I call this in pro bono lawyers for the underprivileged, so their cases can be dealt with. We have had lawyers as presidents, but we leave. All right, so at this point, being at Pillar 8, let's bring Kofi back on stage. Um, Coffee, I want to use this moment to thank you, but it's fine. Now we're together, right?
Indeed, God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, and I love it. Why are we doing black and white tonight?
Well, it's
What's the code? To hear from you.
yes. So well, there's a lot of action virtually, and so people are connecting with the first ever virtual policy launch in this beautiful Republic of Ghana, and keep this for the 10-year plan from the New Force movement. And 276, okay. Well, you need to watch. So take a look, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
For too long, Ghanaians have been let down, keeping change led by the visionary Nana Kwame Bediako, the leader of a new force movement, will embark on an unprecedented tour of all 276 constituencies across Ghana, that will shape the destiny of our nation. Join the new force movement now, and let's build a nation. For too long, Ghanaians have been let down by empty promises and failed leadership, but now a new dawn of a new force of all 276 constituencies across Ghana. He's bringing hope, economic freedom, and to put power back where it belongs, with you. Be part of this historic revolution that will shape the destiny of our nation. Join the new force movement now, and let's build a nation.
I've been and a Frebaco unity in fear air backo. Yasase air backo. Nippon so air backo. And so a tranwesiano air backo. We are Kents, we're Quents. We're leaders. Any power you take, and I know you'll be behind me too.
It is a victory of the Lord that makes a man. Freedom, freedom, just a freedom.
Freedom, are you God? You can stop freedom. Who are you? Freedom, are you? We don't want them, we don't kill them, though. We don't want them, we don't kill them, though. Push you and mentor you to the top.
Freedom, freedom. Just a
It's not a movement. It's time. Freedom movement. It's not a movement. This time, freedom movement.
As from today, my plan begins.
The 16 regions, our regions possess trillions in wealth. Ghanaians, this is our divine inheritance. Why should we sell our raw materials for a pittance? Why let others profit while we languish in poverty? This narrative must end now. And the 16th Regional Industrial Revolution is the answer. The 16th Regional
It's exactly 97 days to election 2024 in the Republic of Ghana, and you're watching a historic first ever virtual policy launch. The speaker is Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force Movement. And during the break, somebody was asking me, so when are we going to
Language on every regional industrialization policy? I mean, maybe I should play some for you to see. From Volta to Ashanti to you name it, to Upper West, Upper East. We thought of everyone that land owns. They're part of it. It's part of the equity. So please, maybe we should play it for you to get familiar
Sure.
with it.
Yeah.
Timantem eti goda owns opipim oha
of East Yarmar Tungbangu Kamvela.
Volta Lake yinya aman towo where
Tutu Yaladin, your northern region, what Tungban Yaladankas.
fanga
All right, Nana, we're going to continue with Pillar 9. I think it's quite an interesting one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
take it away.
Thank you very much, Kafui. It's almost been an hour and some change into the evening since we started this presentation. Ministries. They say less is more. Our government will be the leanest, most efficient in the history of African politics. We present to you the apostolic governance, one president, 12 ministers. Create a lean government, what they have to do. So we start with Ministry of Finance. Over the years, there has been a lot of judgment debts, a lot of salary shortage, a lot of paying and paying and paying. Make the Ministry of Finance become an investor and a developer for the nation building. It should be their responsibility. They should be accountable for it. You know, we want them to be able to go to the sovereign fund, the IMF, and ask for 10 billion for a project. That would be, we should use our Ministry of Finance for investment. We have to purchase for right purposes. That brings returns. The returns that will pay the salary of the workers of this country. And that's how it should circulate, just to stabilize our economy. I can pick maybe trade as well. Well, trade, a revolution, and having a development in minerals and agro processing and packaging and food and this and that is to be able to trade. Now let's think about uh, after is a big project. That's 54 countries of Africa have registered with AFTA. What were they thinking? Ship power of distribution. They have the waters connected to the coast that can just distribute regionally and continentally. And we feed in that gap for after. Is a great opportunity for us. We should look at Ministry of Agriculture. The mandate for Ministry of Agriculture, food guaranteed for us, and it would be the mandate of Ministry of Agriculture to see to it that this it's being monitored, supervised, managed, controlled, and for the public and the citizens of Ghana to get jobs out of this mandate. For the citizens of Ghana to create wealth, the mandate of our policies. But of course, we're going to make sure that there would be the digital copies, that it would go to millions of people as well. But the mandate of maybe a Ministry of Interior to secure the right salary and structures and benefits for security service, like police salary. There is no way they would like to take pure water for bribe. But we just need to give value to our people, and we need the Ministry of Interior to have this mandate and take it serious, that we're moving from the low income world that we live to the middle income world. Creating the 3 pillars to take you through. So I'm going to take you through this ninth pillar, which is the apostolic governance, and then take you back to the pillars. But there are more and more. You have 12 of this. We are here to build an army of dedicated Ghanaians who will manage this great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, to lead, this kind of figures when you call, it's like, how is Ghana ever going to make this money? Because we're only struggling over 3 billion and we barely get it. So how are we going to raise 50 billion? Yes, we are going to raise 50 billion. Says who? Says the young man standing in front of you. This vision and this policy is going to make it happen. If you and create Ghanaian citizenship only for Africans. Now I know that this vision and this idea is going to save Ghana, but it's the phase 1 of it. The target is 1 million Africans in our outreach, because Ghana will have the biggest, most booming economy and is going to attract Africans to come in this country, but they will also want to be a part of Ghana's legacy. And so we have to take advantage of that and raise the 50 billion from Africans by Africans. The money, the grand agenda in this is introducing African unification. Is going to start from Ghana. We would be the first people to start the project USA, United States of Africa, by people joining us. We're about to have an entangled economy that cannot be broken anymore, that cannot be separated anymore. See, we have been regionally separated by borders, and internally we have been separated by tribes. We are going to import our talents and skills from across Africa. Everywhere. In fact, Niger, I know you're watching me in Nigeria. We are coming for you. I know, just you, Nigeria, you in gold, in oil, and we will make ourselves become successful because we're going to raise this capital amongst ourselves. So remember, when I come to power, I will be the first one to invite these Africans to truly become a part of Ghana as African and raise this 50 billion. But guess what? Or we stand still, separated. And it's one of my favorite pillars. It's the 10th pillar. It's just a great news for us, Ghana. It's just a great news. We found a solution. Now let's go to pillar. We're building the data centers. That's why we're minting. That's why we're building the blockchain and the Web3. The Web3 to store the data and information of this continent. Our aim is to build Ghana's first Web3 platform to support the national sovereignty to really store our health records, our academic records, our stocks of commodities, and agro reserves on the blockchain network, our gold reserves, our land reserves, all the reserves. See, you could see that these pillars are supported. We need to have these platforms to support our stocks and our records. See, we have to make the government transactions, data and information transparent. This system is going to make it impossible to edit. To make this a national data and information base that is also publicly accessible. That is the free country that we want to live, with such an economic freedom. That's what we need. At this point, transparency, and that's what this our new Ghana is going to do for us. Transparency. Bring real accountability and responsibility. Pillar 12, we're coming close to the end of this, becoming victims to the international world for those who have trained theirs and made theirs better. And that's sports and the creative industry. Well, I know that Ghana has breeded a lot of stars, musicians, footballers, but how many of them you can probably keep and control? We have to own the academies, own the music catalogs, and own the distribution power. How are we going to do this? Let's start by the sports. I mean, first of all, everybody watches football from outside every day, and they actually depend on it. But hey, we can invest in the sports sector. Basketball, long nurture them, grow them, own them, and they also have to own us. Now, what happens when we build this multi-functional sports academies? You see, it attracts something. It attracts educational investors, where they come to yourself to the academies. Facilities, I believe that there could be other things that it will attract in every region to discover more talent. But the point is, we're trying to breed athletes, world class stars, because they contribute to our economy. One artist can bring billions home in value through endorsement, scholarships, these exchange programs, through partnerships and partner schools. With talented students, and then work with them. So that's for me with sports. Although I don't spend too much time for sports, I know that it has a future in Ghana, especially. The New Falls have decided to build the right machine for for pushing the Publishing Act that protects the IP of our content creators. I mean, you're talking from bloggers to influencers to YouTubers, authors, painters, musicians, music softwares, and film buttons. That's one. Two, we need to build a world class studio. Ghana is the black star of Africa. This studio needs to be in Ghana. We need to build that studio, that Hollywood type studio, that Tyler Perry studio type. And that's the biggest corruption in this area. And I know the likes of all the musicians in this country right now, artists and everybody, you need this. I need it for you too. We need to clamp it down so we could get our real residual income. It will elevate our creative industry to deal with international entertainment corporations such as the Sony, the Universal, the Columbia. You know, we need to partner with them. The iTunes to distribute songs, all the international giants. And talking about creative industry comes together. It comes together with the people. You know, you have to mix the two. Create the pattern, the plants, and the production. When I say pattern, I mean you have to understand what fashion is when you go from cotton to textile to yard and to the pattern before you bring the shirt or the clothes. And then you have to be able to have industrial. I'm now bringing you to the end of my presentation, and I stand for three different things. So is the new force. It's equity, equality, and empowerment. Every individual deserves the opportunity to thrive, where every talent is nurtured. And every dream has to have a chance to become a reality. This is our commitment, the new force, to create a new Ghana where equity, equality, and empowerment are the norms, paving the way in our resolve to build a brighter future, more equitable future for all, for one Ghana, one people, and one nation. Thank you very much for tonight. I would like to bring Halfway back. Um,
Sharp.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
2 hours on your feet explaining your vision to the people of Ghana. And there's a lot of reaction and feedback across the portals. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of plugging into to find out exactly what your vision is. And I want to say thank you for giving the people the opportunity to hear what is in your mind for.
Much once again, Ghana, I really appreciate you for this moment. And I would like to leave you with my 10-year vision. The 7 non-negotiables. Principles that will build this country and beyond Ghana borders. Enjoy the vision. And I'm here to serve you. Thank you.
As from today, my plan.
Volta region, Eastern region holds 174 billion US dollars. Together, our regions possess trillions in wealth. Ghanaians, this is our divine inheritance. Why should we sell our raw materials for a pittance? Industrial revolution is the answer. The 16th Regional Industrial Revolution represents a groundbreaking shift in Ghana's economic paradigm. One that aims to harness the untapped potential of each of Ghana's 16 regions. This ambitious initiative will transform Ghana from a nation reliant on raw material exports to a powerhouse of industrialization and manufacturing into steel right here in Ghana. A country where hundreds of thousands of jobs are created for each region to extract, process, and distribute the region's mineral and agriculture resources. This is a call to arms to transform Ghana from a beggar into a manufacturing. True industrial powerhouse demands a revolutionary overhaul of distribution networks. Ghana, blessed with abundant water bodies, from vast seas to rivers, lakes, and streams, stand ready to harness this potential. The new force will lead the charge to drench our lands, forge connections, and establish a network to both the Volta River and the coast of Olubu, creating a strategic waterway that enhances connectivity and boosts regional development. These waterways, complemented by strategically placed inland harbors, hold the promise of fueling our nation's growth by facilitating the efficient movement of kilometers to cover out the eastern and western corridors. Steel, born from our own industrial revolution, will be the backbone of this transformation. By harnessing the power of our waters and creating a vast eastern and western railway network, Ghana will rise as a gateway for commerce on the continent, is not in papers and coins, but in the intangible bounty of land, heads of cattle, stores of grain, the fruits of labor. These were the true reserves that built nations and sustained people. But what about Ghana today? The moment has arrived to unearth our natural, extract and refine our own mineral and agriculture reserves, making them the new commodities that nations trade. The new force envisions Ghana becoming the African giant, the titan of wealth and power, with mineral reserves sufficient not only for our needs but also for distribution to the rest of Africa. Will be bolstered to produce and distribute abundant food to sustain our nation and meet the needs of the African continent. We will introduce a seedling bank where we can nurture and grow seeds into foods for decades, ensuring long-term food security, not just for ourselves, but for Africa. Industrialization will unlock our potential to captivate adventurous, nature lovers, and families. Our industrial revolution will fuel the creation of West Africa's biggest central park. Designed with a forward-thinking approach, the park will not only be a major attraction, but also a model of sustainability, boasting and provide educational insights into wildlife conservation. In addition to these wildlife attractions, the Eco Park would include innovative water parks featuring thrilling slides, wave pools, and lazy rivers, a grand museum to celebrate the day and experience the best of Ghanaian hospitality. To see this Eco Park attracting Europeans, Americans, and Asians to Ghana to witness our greatness and marvel at our ingenuity. At Chumata Forest, the nature reserve for this project will transform into a living, breathing symbol of our tourism power, showcasing our Tapping into the higher levels of sunlight will be crucial for both rural and urban areas, reducing the reliance on traditional power sources. Wind power will harness the coastal and inland wind currents to provide a steady supply of renewable energy. Thermal power, utilizing of high demands or low production. In addition, the integration of nuclear power will be pivotal, leveraging uranium resources through trade and distribution channels with African countries like Niger. A state-of-the-art nuclear power plant will provide all the technology for technology, leveraging our own resources and reserves for manufacturing and production, focusing on a wide range of products from consumer electronics to industrial machinery, ensuring that the country meets both domestic needs and infrastructure for cloud computing, data storage, and data processing. Technology is a crucial driver of industrialization, and the new force will use it to fundamentally transform our economy and society by enabling more efficient production processes, fostering innovation, and creating new business opportunities. The fires of our industrial revolution will forge the means to extract and process our vast mineral reserves, backing a currency with undeniably tangible wealth. This radical approach insulates our currency from the volatile tides of global markets, grounding its value in the bedrock of our nation's resources, crucial for achieving and sustaining this vision. Currency should be viewed not merely as a financial instrument, but as a reflection of an investment in human capital. The strength and stability of an economy are deeply enhancing human capital as a means to improve economic outcomes and ensure currency stability. We will allocate resources to expand and improve educational programs, including primary, secondary, and high-level education, with a focus on areas critical to economic development, such as mining, industrial engineering. It's a wave of innovation and productivity that will propel us forward, making a currency a symbol of our collective achievement and resilience. Cross-border integration. In the pursuit of an economic renaissance, Ghana's rise to greatness.
Me I no be your neighbor. You go the rush and go bite your finger.